was 16, I started work in an admin role at a local hospital, and a colleague who was a similar age to me was a Christian. We became friends, and I realised there was something different about her, something that was missing in my own life. I didn't know much about God, so I asked her, and she told me God is real and you can have a relationship with him. There was a chapel at the hospital, and we went there one Tuesday on our lunch break. She invited me to pray a prayer, acknowledging that I needed to be right with God and believing that Jesus died on the cross to make this possible. I didn't feel any different afterwards, and I was a bit disappointed, but I knew that I'd made a decision to invite Jesus to be part of my life. There were quite a few Christians amongst the hospital staff, and they used to meet together on Thursday afternoons when they finished work. After we prayed together, my friend invited me to go to a meeting with her that Thursday. It was quite a small group that week, and as someone started to pray, I suddenly felt something happening. I somehow knew that God was real, he was holy, and he was actually making himself known to me. I felt his love for me, but I also recognised that there was nothing I could do to deserve it. It was overwhelming, and I cried throughout the whole meeting. It was my first real encounter with God, and I definitely hadn't been expecting it. Not long after that, I met a guy that I really liked. He wasn't a Christian, and I began spending more time with him than I did getting to know Jesus. I felt torn, and I realised I was being pulled in two different directions. I eventually turned away from God and got married, but by the time my first child was born, I knew that I needed Jesus to help me be a good parent. I bitterly regretted my decision to leave Jesus out of my life, and I asked my friend from work if he would take me back. And once again we prayed together, and immediately I felt a warmth flow through my body. I knew God had accepted how sorry I was, but it took me a long time to get over the guilt that I felt and really accept his forgiveness. Since then, God has healed many hurts from my past, and when my marriage ended after 30 years, he walked through the heartache with me. I never imagined that I would get divorced, and I felt a huge sense of failure and shame. I moved around for a few years, unable to settle or find a new place for myself in the world. I mostly worked evenings or weekends, so getting to church was difficult. In 2021, my elderly mother came to live with me. We needed a downstairs bedroom for her, and God led us to a house in Nuneaton last year. At the same time, the company that I worked for relocated, and God provided a job in Nuneaton working during the day. I looked on the internet for churches near me, and I made a list of the ones I planned to visit. Nuneaton Christian Fellowship has a coffee morning on a Thursday, so I went along. Everyone was really friendly, and I enjoyed my time with them, so I decided to try the morning service on Sunday. By the time I walked out of the building at the end of the service, I knew that I wouldn't be visiting any more churches. I had found my new home and my new church family. I feel that I can belong here, that I'm accepted and seen and cared for. God has been faithful to me even when I haven't been faithful in return. He's proved his love many times. He's provided me with the home and family that I needed, and has helped me to see what a good father is like. Being part of a church family has also helped me to get to know Jesus in a deeper way as we meet together and share our lives.